What's up, guys? Movie Addicted Nerd here, and I'm back. Sorry I've been away for a while to catch you up on what I've been doing. I've actually started pre production on a short film that I am writing and directing, and I plan to shoot it in at the end of May, like May 31st is what I'm aiming for. I have a location picked out, I have cast and everything, so I'm pretty excited. Maybe in my next video I'll give you more information on that. I'm still, like I said, in pre-production for it, so that's what I've been doing lately is working on that. But today's video I wanted to talk about the movies I've seen so far in 2016. Now, in 2015, movies were just amazing. It was a really good year for movies all around, with like Mad Max and Star Wars and The Hateful Eight and Straight Outta Compton, all those movies. Amazing movies. So far in 2016, it's a strong year in movies, and I'm excited to see what else the rest of the year brings out. So let's get started with the ones that I have seen so far in 2016. Now, I know there's been a good amount released already, but I haven't seen all of them, and I'm just going to talk about what I've seen. Starting with The Revenant. Now, I'm sure you know what The Revenant is. It's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where the bear attacks him and all that. To be honest with you, I was excited to see this movie. I was really excited to see it. I was like, oh man, maybe it will blow me away. I wasn't blown away. I felt, after I watched it, I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I started to think about it and let it process more and more. And I'm like, this movie sucked. It was like Oscar bait all over the place. Alejandro G. Inarritu, I think is his name, did the same tricks that he did to make Birdman. So I felt like I was watching Birdman in the wilderness. Like, it wasn't great. I felt Leonardo DiCaprio's role in it was way overhyped. He wasn't that good in it. I'll be honest with you. He sucked in it. How can you win Best Actor on something where you mumble the entire time? Yes, I'm aware acting isn't only just talking and there's physical acting too, but I'm sorry, but Leonardo DiCaprio's role was boring in it. The movie was boring. The soundtrack was beautiful. The movie was boring. And that's all I'm going to say, because that's all I really want to say about that. And I do want to see it again just to get a better opinion on it. Maybe I didn't like it the first viewing. Maybe I need a second viewing. But for my first viewing, which I've only seen it the one time, did not enjoy it at all. Next one that came out was 13 Hours. Now, 13 Hours is the 13 Hours, 13 Hours subtitled The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, is about the soldiers who helped fight off terrorists attacking a U.S. compound in Benghazi, Libya, in, I want to say 2011, I believe it was. Phenomenal movie. Amazing movie. I was in tears by the end of the movie. Just amazing. I saw it twice within like a day of each other. And then I figured out Michael Bay made it, and I was like, holy crap, Michael Bay actually made a movie I liked. Amazing movie. For once, Michael Bay was not all substance and no style. For once, he actually took the time to tell the story of these American heroes. I cannot say enough about this movie. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's it's so good. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. Really good movie. Bring your Kleenexes because you will cry. And the next movie I saw was Deadpool. Now, let me be completely honest with you here and tell you that I do not like Marvel movies. I do not like DC movies. I don't like the superhero genre. I cannot stand it. It is the most boring thing ever to watch for me. I'm sitting in the theater just like, oh my god, we get it. They're going to get beat up for an hour. And then in the last 5 minutes, they magically have their power back. We get it. But Deadpool blew me away. I loved the crude humor. I loved all like the little stabs that Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool made fun about Ryan Reynolds and Fox. Like all the little, meta jabs that he had in there. It was amazing. And honestly, it was the first time I watched a Marvel movie or superhero movie, comic book movie, what have you, and actually enjoyed it. I mean, I did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy when it came out, but there was just something about Deadpool that pushed it a little bit further than what Guardians of the Galaxy did for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. I cannot wait till it comes out on Blu-ray so I can check it out again. Next up was Ride Along 2. Now, I did go see Ride Along when it came in theaters, the first Ride Along, when it came in theaters a couple years ago, I believe it was. And, I mean, for what it was funny. It's your typical buddy cop film, almost. There's nothing new to it. There's nothing, like, wow and amazing about it. For what it was funny. And for Ride Along 2, I felt it wasn't as good as the first one. I mean, there was funny parts to it, but I wasn't that impressed by it. And honestly, I prefer the first one over the second one. Now, I didn't hate it or anything like that, but I just didn't like it a lot, you know? So, I mean, if you've seen the first one, you might want to check out the second one just to see what you're missing. But if you've never seen any of them and you're curious to watch it, I mean, I don't know, wait till it comes out on like a 99-cent rental on iTunes to watch it. It's not it's not the funniest like masterpiece in the world, but it's still a decent movie. Next up is 999. This movie came out late February, and it stars Aaron Paul, Norman Reedus. Can't pronounce this other guy's name. There's some other people in there. I can't really honestly remember who it is in there. But this movie was Casey Affleck's in it. It was pretty good. I will admit it wasn't the greatest. And to be honest with you, the movie did what it wanted to do, which was have Aaron Paul and Norman Reedus in the movie to get the fans of Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead to come see this movie. And then just to have their names, but not really use them in the movie. I don't want to give away like spoilers or anything, but it was a little bit different than what I thought it was going to be. For some reason, I thought like they explained like what a 999 is in the trailer, and they kept showing Woody Harrelson's character in the trailer. So I thought, oh, maybe they were going to go try to like fake Woody Harrelson's death to pull off this bank robbery thing, but it 180 and did the complete opposite. And that I was actually kind of surprised by. It's a good action movie, and if you live in Atlanta, you love watching it because you're just like, oh, I know there and know there and know there and there. So it's really like Atlanta heavy, and they make sure you know that it takes place in Atlanta, which part of me thinks they filmed it in Atlanta because of Norman Reedus doing The Walking Dead in Atlanta. So it might have worked with his schedule a little bit better, especially since they wanted him in the movie for his name and not much else. And then next up, the next movie I saw this year so far is, I got to see it last night at a 6 p.m. showing, which of course you should know is Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Again, not a Marvel fan, not a DC fan, not a comic book reader, not a comic book movie fan. I'll be honest, I'll put it right here, out here. I only enjoyed the last 30 to 45 minutes of this movie. Other than that, it was boring. And honestly, I started to check out until the actual Batman versus Superman part happened. Other than that, I was just sitting there like, okay. And it drags on and on and on and on and on. And I wasn't impressed. Like, I feel like this movie had like Star Wars Force Awakens level hype, and it was a big letdown. It just wasn't good. And I mean, I don't want to be all negative here, so I'll say that Ben Affleck as Batman, great. I was one of the few people that when he was announced as Batman, I was like, yes, Ben Affleck should play Batman. I was up there with like Kevin Smith was like, Ben Affleck's going to be great as Batman. Because, you know, they're friends, so of course Kevin's going to say that. But no, I was right there with him. I was like, okay, Ben Affleck's a good choice for Batman. He was probably the best looking. I'm sorry, I know the Nolan films are like really well liked and respected, but he was probably the best looking Batman on screen, in my opinion. Um, Henry Cavill as Superman. I'd never seen Man of Steel, so this was my first time seeing him as Superman. Boring, completely flat and dull. Not a great character for me. I don't know. He was like brooding the entire time, and it got annoying. And again, it's a superhero movie, and they get beat up. Like these guys are superheroes, and they're supposed to be like the most powerful people in the world. And you spend half a movie kicking their ass before they go back and kick someone else's ass. It doesn't make sense to me. Like it's especially Superman. Superman's supposed to be like the strongest dude in the world. I mean, he has laser vision and he's super strong and bullets just like bounce off of him. How is he getting his ass kicked for 3.5 hours before, he comes back in the last 5 minutes and is like, oh, I'm all of a sudden powerful again and starts, being Superman. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to make a superhero movie, especially about like Superman or Batman or something like that, make them a superhero. Don't make them like get their ass kicked for however long the movie is until the last 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, now there can be Superman. That makes no sense to me. It's a new trend within these superhero movies, and it's honestly annoying. It's really annoying and boring. But and Lex Luthor's, or Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, terrible idea. I could not stand him on the screen. I was happier when he was off the screen. He was so annoying. But the movie did what it wanted to do. It's wanted to set up the Justice League movie that's going to come out, I think next year or 2018, something like that. So it did what it wanted to do. It set up Justice League, but even then, it set it up in like the flattest, dullest, most boring way possible. Like, you got Batman, cool. You got Superman, cool. You got Wonder Woman, which Gal Gadot, I believe is her name, playing Wonder Woman, perfect. Her portrayal of Wonder Woman actually made me want to go see the Wonder Woman film when it comes out. Those three, so you got your three big, Trinity, I guess is what they call them. Good. But then when they decided to show, these other, I think they called them metahumans, it was, literally a 5-second scene of, here's this person, and this person, and this person, and this person. I don't want to tell you, I don't want to give you spoilers because it did just come out. So I'm trying to, avoid as much spoilers as you can. But me telling you that they're setting up the Justice League, you can read online through IMDb who's going to be in it. So when they showed this Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, it was just bam, bam, bam. And that was it. That's okay. You set up the Justice League. You did what you wanted to do. Why waste 2.5 hours to get to that point? It made no sense to me. The last 30 to 45 minutes was the Batman versus Superman part. Anything before that was just nonsense to me. It made no sense. It was boring, and I can honestly see why the critics don't like it, and I believe all the hype around it is fanboy hype that want to like it. I believe they want to like it, but they're trying to fight off the fact that it's not a good movie. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's not very good. Overall rating for that movie I would give it is a 5.5 out of 10. Overall rating for 999 is maybe a 3 out of 10, but that's because it annoyed me to the fact that they used Aaron Paul and Norman Reedus' name to get you into the theater and then not use those characters. Ride Along 2, I would give it a 2 out of 10. Deadpool, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. 13 Hours, I would give it a 10. Perfect movie. The Revenant, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I wish I would like some of these movies a little bit more. I know we're only in March and 2016 just started, so I'm excited to see what else 2016 brings out for us. I know at the end of this month or start of next month, you get the spiritual sequel to Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused called Everybody Wants Some. I'm excited to check that out. It looks hilarious. There's some other movies I can't think off the top of my head right now that I do want to see. I still want to check out 10 Cloverfield Lane. Haven't checked that out yet. Um, the Ghostbusters trailer, honestly, that trailer alone makes me not want to see the remake. And it's not because I'm like, oh, it's a remake and I don't like remakes. No, it just doesn't. It almost looks like they're making fun of the original Ghostbusters to make this new Ghostbusters. It doesn't look good to me, and I cannot stand Melissa McCarthy. Either way, for what I've seen from 2016 in movies, they aren't terrible, but they aren't as good of quality as 2015 movies. But like I said, we're only in March, so I'm excited to see where 2016 takes us in cinema. Um, Stay tuned. I'm going to release a video next week. Maybe I'll talk about the short film that I'm making. I can tell you I will go ahead and tell you it's a very dialogue heavy film, not much like action to say. I would say Tarantino esque in certain aspects, not like blood and guts everywhere and guns and everywhere, but like the way I'm going to film it is very Tarantino style of filming. So I'm excited to get that going and get that started. Um, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Movie Addicted Nerd. And stay tuned. I'll make sure I upload more videos each week because in May I'm actually going to go volunteer at a summer camp. So that's a whole week of no videos. So I'm going to try to get as much content onto the channel as I can before that happens. And then when I come back, do more content for you guys. So I'm excited to keep doing this. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.